All right, so you know how every D&D campaign like builds up to those big showdowns, right? Those epic boss battles.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to dive deep into that
I
today.
love it.
How to make those truly memorable.
Yeah.
Pulling some ideas from this awesome article I found over at Lit RPG Reads.
Okay.
How to create an epic boss battle for your D&D campaign.
Nice.
And it's not just about, throwing a big bad guy with 1,000,000 hit points at your players.
Right.
This is about crafting an experience
It's true.
that they will be talking about for years to come.
Oh, absolutely. And, for me, a truly epic boss battle, it's the culmination of everything that's come before it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a test of your player skills. It's a payoff for all the hard work they've put into their characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pivotal moment they can, redefine the entire world that you've created together.
It's huge.
It is. It's about narrative closure. It's about emotional investment. It's about making memories.
See, that's what gets me pumped because it's like the boss battle itself is a reward for everyone at the table.
100%.
So it's more than just like a mechanical challenge.
Right.
It's this huge storytelling opportunity.
Absolutely. And that's why choosing the right boss
Yes.
is so crucial.
It's like casting a movie, right?
It is.
Like the wrong villain can totally ruin it.
Oh, yeah. You can throw the whole thing off.
Yeah. And thankfully, this article breaks down the antagonist selection process in a really helpful way.
I like it.
So it starts with thinking about your narrative, right?
Of course.
Who makes sense to be the final obstacle in this grand story that you're all telling together?
Yep.
So maybe it's that shadowy figure that your players have only heard whispers about.
Ooh, building up the suspense.
Right, like for multiple sessions. Or maybe it's a recurring rival that they've already clashed with before,
Okay.
bringing some personal history
Right.
to the final showdown.
I like that a lot.
And the article uses this example of a fallen paladin, which I thought was really cool. So someone who was once a hero, but now they're the ultimate evil.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, imagine if that paladin was a former mentor to one of the players.
Oh, wow.
Talk about raising the stakes.
Right. Now you're tapping into those emotional cores.
Exactly.
And, while you're crafting this amazing villain, don't forget about your players and their abilities.
Oh, yeah.
You want the boss to be challenging, obviously.
Of course.
But not impossible.
Right.
Nobody wants to sit down at a table
For sure.
and get completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's got to be fun.
It's got to be fun.
It's got to be fair.
Exactly. An overpowered enemy.
Yeah.
That's just frustration.
Yeah. No one likes
And a pushover boss is just anticlimactic.
Totally. It's oh, we beat the big bad and it was nothing.
Right. Exactly.
What was the point of all this?
Exactly.
Yeah. So take some time to really analyze your players' characters.
Yes.
What classes are they? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How have they handled past encounters? All of that is going to influence how tough this boss should be.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You can really fine-tune the boss's abilities to create that satisfying challenge.
Yeah.
It's something that your players can overcome.
Right.
But only by
Working together.
using all their skills and their teamwork.
Love it. Okay, so we've got this picture in our heads of this awesome villain, right?
Yeah.
They're tough, they're scary, they're perfectly tailored to our party.
Okay.
But how do we make them truly memorable?
Ooh, good question.
They have to be more than just a name on a stat block.
Right.
How do we breathe life into them?
Absolutely. It's any good story, a compelling villain needs compelling backstory.
Okay.
You got to give them their own character arc.
I never thought about it like that, giving the boss their own arc.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just a monster to defeat. It's a character with their own motivations.
Of course.
Maybe even regrets,
Absolutely. Instead of just your classic evil overlord wants to rule the world.
Right. Which we've all seen before.
1,000,000 times.
Uh-huh.
What if there's a reason behind their villainy?
Ooh, okay. I like where you're going with this.
Maybe a tragic past
Okay.
that pushed them down this path.
All right, so give me an example.
Okay, so imagine they were once this renowned hero, but then they suffered some terrible betrayal
Oh, no.
that twisted their ideals.
Oh,
Or maybe they're trying to save their people from some terrible fate,
okay.
but the means they have to resort to are monstrous.
Oh, that's so good. See, that's what I'm talking about because it's so easy to fall into that trap of villains being evil just because.
Right.
But when you give them that real backstory,
Yeah.
that's when it gets interesting.
It adds a whole new dimension.
And this article had this other idea that I thought was really cool too. And it was talking about weaving the boss's backstory into the campaign
Yes.
before the players even meet them face to face.
Oh, I love that so much.
Isn't that so cool?
It's brilliant.
So it's like hinting at their past.
Yeah.
Maybe they stumble upon like an old journal.
Oh, yeah, like a weathered journal.
Exactly. Or they meet an NPC who like knew the boss back in the day.
Yes.
When they were still a good guy.
Back in the good old days.
Exactly. And so by the time they finally meet, it's not just a fight, it's personal.
It's personal. And now your players are invested.
100%.
Like they are in it to win it.
And speaking of setting the scene,
Yes.
the environment the boss battle takes place in.
Yeah.
That can be huge.
It really can.
It can't just be like another boring dungeon room.
No.
It's got to be epic.
It's got to reflect the boss, right?
Yes.
Their personality, their power.
Exactly.
That's everything.
So like if it's a dragon,
Oh.
give me that classic lair, piles of gold bones everywhere, maybe some lava.
Oh, I love it. Or how about this?
Okay.
A powerful necromancer.
Oh.
Give me a creepy crypt shrouded in mist with
No.
like whispers echoing through the walls.
Ooh, chills, literal chills.
Right.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the visuals that stick with you.
Yes.
100%. And then on top of that, we can add those interactive elements too, right?
Yeah,
Things that make the battle more dynamic,
of course.
like environmental hazards or maybe even like objects or something that the players can use to their advantage.
Yes. Like collapsing pillars.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, or magical barriers that like ebb and flow with power.
Okay.
Maybe there's like an ancient artifact hidden in the room
All right.
that the players can try to use against the boss.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Because then it's not just a fight, it's like a puzzle too.
Exactly. You're testing their creativity.
It's like they're in an escape room,
Yes.
but with swords and spells.
Exactly. So good. Okay, so we've got this amazing villain, right?
Yeah.
With this awesome backstory.
Uh-huh.
They're duking it out in the coolest environment imaginable.
Right, yeah. But we're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
The story.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
D&D is about storytelling.
It is.
We don't want to get so caught up in the mechanics of the battle that we forget about the narrative.
Right.
What's the story that we're telling here?
That's what makes a good dungeon master great, right?
Yes.
Is remembering to tell a story.
Exactly. And this article had some really cool points about that too. Like weaving in elements that heighten the drama.
Okay.
Like dialogue, for example.
Of course.
Maybe some unexpected events.
Yeah, keeps them on their toes.
Yes. Or how about this? Even a few twists.
Ooh, I love a good twist.
Right. Like, give me an example of like a good boss battle twist.
Okay, picture this. Your players are sure they've won.
Okay.
They've emptied their quivers. They're out of spell slots.
They're spent.
They are spent. The big bad is down for the count.
Okay.
Just as, like, they're breathing that sigh of relief.
Oh, no.
Bam. The boss rises again.
No.
But this time, they've transformed.
Oh, my God.
Into something even more terrifying.
Okay, that's brutal.
Right.
I love it.
Or how about this?
Okay.
A trusted NPC ally.
Okay.
Someone who's been with the party since session 1
Oh, no.
reveals that they were working for the villain all along.
Oh, my gosh. My heart just skipped a beat.
Right.
That is so good.
Those no-way moments.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Oh, my gosh. The betrayal.
But
Yeah.
but we have to remember, any twists or reveals we do,
Mhm.
they have to be hinted at subtly
Right.
earlier in the campaign.
It can't just come out of nowhere.
No.
It has to feel earned.
Exactly. It should
Yeah.
feel like a natural part of the story.
Right. We want to surprise our players, not like cheat them.
Exactly. We're not trying to trick them.
Yeah, we're trying to tell a good story together.
Exactly.
And a good twist can be amazing.
It can be.
But if it feels unearned,
Yeah.
it's just going to make your players mad.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance.
Now, that's the key to all of this.
100%.
Okay, so we've talked about so much cool stuff.
All right.
Like we've got our villain,
Mm.
their backstory, the environment.
twist.
Oh, yeah, the twist. Don't forget the twist.
So good.
But what about like after the battle's over?
Ah, the victory lap.
Right, like the dust settles.
Yeah.
The dice are put away. Hopefully you won. What happens then?
Well, I love that this article actually talks about that.
Me too, because I feel like that's something that I know I've glossed over in the past
Yeah.
as a dungeon master.
It's easy to do.
It is, you get so caught up in planning the battle itself that you forget, like,
Right.
this is supposed to be a big moment in the campaign.
It is.
It needs to have, like, lasting repercussions.
100%. And those repercussions should go beyond just like, handing out loot.
Okay.
Which, like, don't get me wrong, loot is always good.
Oh, yeah, everyone loves loot.
Who doesn't love magic items? But you got to think bigger than that.
Okay.
How does defeating this boss change the world?
Ooh, I like that.
How does it affect the characters, like, on a personal level?
Right. Like maybe they gain a powerful new ally
Yeah,
because they took down this big bad.
exactly.
Or maybe they unlock access to like a secret location
Ooh,
that was previously unreachable.
I love it.
Or maybe it's not something tangible.
I like that.
Maybe it's just like closure,
Ooh.
on some personal vendetta that's been driving their character.
Yes. Now you're getting it.
For like 3 sessions.
That's the good stuff.
Right. Like those are the moments. Those are the rewards.
Absolutely. And that's how you create a bridge
Okay.
to the next chapter of the story.
I love that.
Right. Like the fallout from this epic boss battle,
Mm-hmm.
it can lead to like a whole new set of challenges and opportunities for your players to grapple with.
Oh, that's fantastic. This has been so much fun.
I've had a blast.
This whole deep dive has been awesome.
Me too.
I feel like I've leveled up my dungeon master skills
There you go.
like tenfold just now.
That's what we like to hear.
I know, right? So to wrap things up for our listeners out there, when you're creating these epic boss battles, remember, it's not just about like
Right.
throwing a big bag of hit points at your players.
Yeah.
It's about weaving together the story,
Yes.
the mechanics, the player investment.
Make it personal.
Yes, to make it a truly unforgettable experience for everyone involved.
Absolutely. It's about creating those moments that your players will be talking about
Yes.
for years to come.
And with that, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Until next time.
Go forth and create some epic boss battles.